Welcome to the exciting rebirth of Superstar, featuring choose your membership rate as low as just $3 a month. At Superstar, you get expanded, exclusive video scopes each and every week, unlimited access to special horoscopes, class passes for Synchronicity University, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space. I look forward to meeting you there. Hello, fabulous superstar Sagittarius. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of December 2021. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable and big astrological month without a doubt. This is a very important end to a very important year. For you in particular, consider this. We are going to have a solar eclipse in your sign on the 4th. This is a total solar eclipse that is set to take place for you now in your sign. And you won't have another eclipse in your sign for another 8 years. Almost to the day, 8 years from now, is when you will see the next eclipse in this same part of the sky. And so as much as I'm going to just focus on what's happening with this particular eclipse, I also want to remind you that whatever happens now, it's almost as if when we navigate 8 years from now, again, to the day 8 years from now, you will be able to connect what takes place then to what happens in your life as we begin this month and the early part of this month. It is this total eclipse in your sign, solar eclipse in your sign, that is going to bring to an end some larger lessons that have been with you for about the last 2 years or so now. And it's going to help you to really put some finishing touches on some very powerful changes that have been taking place for you. Ultimately, eclipses align you with a higher, more loving vision for your life, for you, a higher, more loving vision for you of who you are, who you know yourself to be. This is your identity that has gone through major changes and shifts. This is you understanding your priorities and what matters to you most and what matters to you first very differently than you did before. And this is you having a clarity and depth of understanding into yourself in a way that maybe you hadn't before, that allows you a fresh new beginning. Now, there are certain examples that I do use as part of eclipses. And when I see an eclipse like this, it comes that much more to the forefront. Remember, solar eclipses are about brand new chapters, brand new beginnings, brand new identities is what is showing up for you. So examples I like to give, I have seen with eclipses, especially when it's in your sign. I've seen lots of people quit using drugs. That's one thing I've seen quite a bit. I've seen dramatic changes in people's relationships as well, because if you understand yourself differently, of course, that's going to affect your relationships. So you're making a choice. You're starting again fresh. Maybe that means in a whole other direction without a partner. This could be brand new pathways that show up for you that are rooted in a new understanding of self. I have seen people go vegan with eclipses. I once had a person who was vegan for 10 years start eating meat again with an eclipse. And so it is ultimately about you. It's not about, any kind of external judgment or anything like that. It's ultimately about who you know yourself to be. It roots you in identity, and identities can go through massive shifts now that change your life in notable ways as well. And as you get more clear, get a different understanding as to what your priorities are and whom it is that you are, your life can't help but start to look dramatically different as a result. And so one of the two notable things with this eclipse, the two important conversations happening here, Uranus is speaking with this eclipse. And so normally eclipses already have this surprise wild card factor. That is going to be that much more magnified with this total solar eclipse. But also eclipses can bring with them, and with Uranian connections as well, fresh energy, fresh insights, creative energy that feels enlivening. Now, the other key connection this eclipse is making, well, it's with Saturn, a harmonious connection with Saturn. And that suggests maturity, responsibility, stability. It suggests that the changes you make now, you follow them up with action. And the changes now have the potential to really take root, to change you for a very long time to come, to be part of fueling healthy self-respect and even longer term success as well. And so whatever needs to change now, let it. Whatever new insights find you and how this new sense of a beginning happens for you, let it. Knowing that it is part of affirming a stronger future ahead. Now, as we navigate later in the month on the 18th, we are going to have a full moon taking place in your opposite sign. And this is going to speak to partnerships of all kinds, business partnerships and professional alliances. But I think for the overwhelming majority of Sagittarius out there, this is going to speak to love. You add the fact that the day after is when Venus goes retrograde. For most of this month, Venus is just hanging out in the sky with Pluto. There's a lot of very intense love energy for all of us out there, and that includes you as well. But that full moon does suggest that someone is there to help you to understand where you are in love and why. New insights are coming in. Some truth is being accepted as part of your pathway forward. So for those of you open to meeting someone new, it is a very powerful time. Someone is going to be there. Yes, the full moon is the strongest indicator, but Venus going retrograde as well. Now, this full moon is going to be speaking in supreme harmony with Jupiter. That is a very hopeful energy that I love for you. But it's also speaking in a conversation of tension with Neptune. And that's an energy of uncertainty. And so it is very likely you'd connect with someone now. All may not be very clear. Some of your own fears may get stirred at this time. But it also reminds you that there are options available to you in the context of love. For those of you just starting to date somebody, what a powerful time this can be as well. You are coming to some realization, some truth about this person. Now, keep in mind though, with Venus going retrograde, breakups that happen tend to not stay broken up. And yet, it may very well be at this time that some uncertainty or disappointment or fear allows you to then consider whether or not this is someone to navigate forward with. For those of you in an established bond, of course, that full moon is going to come into focus in very powerful ways. Venus retrograde season does suggest that finances may come into focus in matters of love as well. Now, there is a Venus retrograde special horoscope up at my website, nadiyashah.com, so you may want to check that out as well. But for all that, this is a time when a lot of emotion can be stirred. Where there has been past disappointment, it is now that it may come to the surface. And ultimately, the two of you are able to talk out just about anything in powerful ways. What I love about this month for you, well, it's got to be the solar eclipse in your sign. Even with a jam-packed month like this, Jupiter, your ruling planet, is going to change signs at the end of the month. We are also going to have the final Saturn-Uranus square. So there's a lot to talk about as we go along, but that eclipse is going to be one that stands out for you for a very long time to come. And for some Sagittarius out there, it may even be the case that it feels as if that eclipse is one that defines you and stands out throughout the trajectory of your life. And I don't say that lightly. A total solar eclipse brings with it a brand new start, rooted in a brand new you. And thankfully, it's one that you feel good about. It's a self that is rooted in self-respect, bright, and excited about the future. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this every single week for every single sign for as low as just $3 a month with choose your membership rate at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. At NadiyaShahSuperstars.com, you get expanded exclusive video scopes each and every week. Higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the superstar space. I look forward to meeting you there at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Link is in the description below. Thank you again for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.